Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, my dear ones? How is everything where you are? How are you doing generally? Where I am right now, it's cold. Yes, the weather got really cold. Before the holidays in Ramadan, it was in the middle, like in between the coldness and the hotness. It wasn't really hot and it wasn't really cold, but lately it's really, really, really cold. Otherwise, hope you're doing fine. What matters most is that I'm here. These are some of my intentions that are not live. I told you that in these last days of Ramadan, just like we have to maximize our efforts, just like we have to do lots of, acts of worship. I know you also out there busy looking out for this, doing lots of acts of worship. Yes, I cannot make it as well today. What do I have today? Today, I'm talking about people who are exempted from fasting. Just like I told you, these are short episodes and worth watching. Alhamdulillah. So we haven't discussed about people who are exempted from fasting. And who are these categories of people? We have the sick people, we have the old, very old people, we have the travelers. Okay, we have the young children, we have the women in menstruation and nifas, we have the pregnant mothers and breastfeeding mothers. Remember, we're looking at people who are exempted from fasting. Well, let's see, what do these people really do? Are they excused for good, and so they don't have to do anything, they don't have to repay? What really happens? Or else, if that's the case, then there's some people who don't really like fasting, and so fasting to them is like bulk, it's hectic, it's troublesome, they don't want to abstain from food and drink. I mean, this would be a way for them to get an excuse, like go on a tour. After all, that makes them to be travelers. Like, find excuses like they're sick and so they don't have to fast. You know, anything for anyone who doesn't want to fast, they could cook up any lie. But no way. Let's see what happens to the people who are exempted from fasting. Do they really just get away with it? Do they have to repay? So many things. So a lot is lingering, or it's running in our heads. What do we do? Okay, we do have al-Jassas. He narrated in in Ahkam al-Quran that the scholars differed concerning this issue. Okay, yes, just like we see some sheikhs teach this, some sheikhs teach that, and so some people get confused. Let's see what. Furthermore, he said the Salaf differed concerning this matter, and there are 3 points of view. Ali radiallahu anhu said they have to make up the fast if they do not fast, but they do not have to feed the people. Okay. Yes, some sheikhs lately teach that they have to make up the fast if they did not fast, but they don't have to feed the people. I mean, when I say to feed the people, this is feeding the people. When you're not fasting, that means feeding someone who fasted. Okay, let's see another view. We have Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu. He said they have to pay for the fidya but do not have to make up the fast. These are the very points, or the very ideas that our sheikhs do teach. Okay, so Allah knows best, really. Allah knows best, because this is an issue where the scholars themselves differed. They had different ideas, and different scholars say different ideas over this very thing. I mean, over this issue of the people who are exempted from fasting. Remember, I said we do have the sick people. That is, if you're sick and really feel you can't fast, I mean, you're not accepted to fast. I mean, you are exempted from fasting. These are the young children, these are the very old people, and these are the travelers. These are the women in menstruation and nifas. These are the women who are pregnant and breastfeeding. Okay, furthermore go to see the third. This is Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu said they have to pay the fidya and make up the fast. This is, they have to feed the people who fasted, and then they have to make up the fast. SubhanAllah, only Allah knows best. These are three different ideas, and different scholars differ with these ideas. They teach differently. As much as we can't say no to any ideas, for really Allah knows best. So don't get confused out there when you hear one sheikh teaching this and the other sheikh teaches that and the other one says this. Allah knows best for real. Okay, so those are the three different ideas from the Salaf. We still furthermore to go and see that those who say that they only have to make up the fast quoted the following as evidence. Okay, they only have to make up the fast without having to feed the people. Okay, they quoted the following evidence. Narrated by Al-Nasai, by Al-Nasai, radiallahu anhu. This is 2274 from Anas. The Prophet ﷺ said, Allah has waived half of the prayer for the traveler and fasting, and for those who are pregnant and breastfeeding. This is classed as Sahih by Al-Bani in Sahih Al-Nasai. Yes, Allah has waived the prayer for the traveler as well as, fasting. And so for the pregnant women and the breastfeeding mothers. Okay, so that is one evidence. We furthermore got to see another evidence. So Allah stated that the ruling on pregnant women and the breastfeeding women is like the ruling on traveler. The traveler may not fast and has to make up later. And this also applies to the pregnant and breastfeeding women. This comes from Ahkam al-Quran by Al-Jassas. Okay, so yes, these are two hadiths, and you just have what it says. Well, the other one, it says that Allah waived. So Allah said that Allah waived the prayer. This is for the simplicity for the traveler, as well as the fasting. Half of the prayer. That's how we get praying 2 rakats in some prayers. That is when you're a traveler. For Zuhur, pray 2 rakats, and then you still can pray other 2 rakats for Asr before even Asr gets here. That's after you've done your Zuhur prayer. That is 2 rakats for a traveler. Then you can also pray 2 rakats for Asr. Okay, that is waiving. I mean, it's a waiver for travelers praying 2 rakats. That goes to Isha as well. When you're a traveler, you can pray Isha right after praying Maghrib, and then that's only for 2 rakats. Allahu Akbar. That's making things easier for the travelers. Then we furthermore got to see that the traveler may not. Oh, sorry. Then we go to the sick person. For the sick person, this is just as the sick are allowed not to fast and have to make it up later. The same applies to those who are pregnant and breastfeeding. This comes from Al Mughni 3 stroke 37, Al Majim 6 stroke 273. Okay, so that is it for the people that are exempted from fasting. Please, let's endeavor to repay the days, to make up for the days. Well, for some pregnant women, some fast, of course, that's according to how you will or you do feel. Please, you can fast that if you feel like it's okay to fast, like it's not going to hurt the baby. Yes, some pregnant women first. Then, for the sick, please don't, because if you get any problem while fasting, it's all up to you. I mean, you're hurting yourself, and that's really bad. It's not acceptable in Islam. Then for the very young kids, let's not bother them. Yeah, for some kids do really insist they want to fast, but it's not good for them. They're still little, they can't handle it. Or else you can leave them to fast for some few hours, but they don't have to, really. They don't have to. Then when it gets to the very old people, we know how complicated old people are and how, their life is so fragile. So if someone is really, really old, they don't have to fast. They've been exempted from fasting. Okay. Meanwhile, as different scholars and the sheikhs differ from these ideas, only Allah knows best. And so may He enable us to do the very best of everything in the good way, in the right way, to only impress Him. Take good care of yourselves, my dear ones. Thank you for always being around. Thank you for watching me live. That is when I go live. And thank you for looking out for my presentations, because they're always here. Remember, this is Ramadan Recipes. My name is Ashura Mutale. Take good care of yourselves. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.